Hi guys. So, it's pretty good lighting there. Extremely good. So, this one is all about kind of which jurisdiction, right? Which jurisdiction do you park some of your funds? Meaning banking and the company. Banking, I've just gone over, right, in a different video. So I can put the link to that one below. It's the most recent video with my golf top on, just at the end of golf, right? And I spoke about banking and what is required in terms of those compliance, where you can bank, what's typical for banking, and a bit of a banking language which you might not have heard of before, right? So this one, we're very focused on where to park the actual company. For example, Cayman Islands is very well known for financial institutions, hedge funds, mutual funds, closed-end funds, XYZ. Not only crypto, but Bermuda would be more crypto, right? Or some other country. Okay, so all of these, I mean, to list them, we've got BVI, Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent, sorry. Bahamas, Bermuda, Antigua, Palau to an extent, Guernsey, Isle of Man, Malta, Jersey. The list is endless, we can go into Ras Al Khaimah, Dubai, Bahrain, Singapore, Hong Kong, the islands, then around Australia, the Cook Islands, French Polynesia. What about these locations, you see? So they all mean something different, that's what I'm trying to say. Jesus, it's like someone got shot or something. So, in the Cook Islands, for example, it's a home of trust and asset protection, with number 2 being Nevis. I'll touch on these two topics a lot, and you probably have already seen it on my YouTube channel with the Cook Islands and Nevis, right? So what's very important is the company which you're making is in the correct jurisdiction and is structured in the correct manner. Because maybe your personal residence affects it. CFC rules, as you've probably heard me bang on about a few times, right? That's going to affect it, which is not great for you. So obviously now it's going to be owned by a trust, and where's that trust going to be? For example, if you're a Portuguese company, you might want it in Malta, but then you might have a company in Malta and a trust in Nevis, or a trust in the Cook Islands, if you want that, kind of withholding tax to be wiped away. So there's also Ireland, there's also the Netherlands for holding companies, surprisingly. Again, the Dutch did have their own empire. So at the end of the day, there's that many different companies. It's best to really understand your objectives of what you're doing and essentially why, Why? Sorry, it's incredibly sweaty over here. It's like 30-something fucking degrees. It's ridiculous. But why are you actually doing this? That's what's key. So drop me over an email or do the booking link, whatever my PA is going to set up, the booking link thing. I think for three days a week, you can book a call with me for free. Just chat, realize your actual objectives, see what's going on. Because typically speaking, most clients who come to me start off with they just want an offshore company, right? To maybe run a marketing business or a family business, to essentially kind of remit those on-seas taxable incomes offshore in a bit of a grey area kind of manner is what they're thinking. However, they turn up and it goes into a very green tick area because they now own a trust. They've removed complete ownership. They have a trustee kind of managing a lot of their enterprises, yet they're still the front of their UK business as a UK sales director. But behind the scenes, it's completely, a very complex financial structure, of a very legitimacy of how it's operating because of the way that it's actually been set up, right? So that's what's very important with the companies. But most common we see, right, is Cayman, Nevis. I also use Nevis myself. Nevis is a great place, one of the best places for asset asset protection. An LLC there is great, trust there is great, partnered up with an LLC, and then obviously can own other LLCs in other jurisdictions, such as the Seychelles, a great place for cheap LLCs, especially if you're doing crypto. I know some great banks that can give you a debit card. I'm going to make a video on this one here, on the debit card situation with crypto and how you can run an entire trust wallet system through an offshore company and spend the money on a debit card. That's a fantastic system that many people have been using, and that's with the Seychelles, you see. So the entire setup is literally $1,200, and essentially your crypto is tax-free in the Seychelles. Great stuff, right? And you have an Apple Pay card. No physical card, just an Apple Pay card. $1,200. So these are some of the solutions which we do at Forward Point Solutions. FPS Financial Group, one of the companies, does one of these solutions, right? So there's lots of chat about on this YouTube channel. There's going to be lots of crypto stuff, lots of fun stuff, go into much complex. All of them so far have laid the foundations of the offshore world, which many of you seem to have loved. Now I'm going to try to create 30 to 100 videos over the next few years, maybe the next few months, maybe the next few days, whenever I feel like it. So I'm going to do that, bust out some more complex content, then go back over to the computer and bust out some very complex stuff, right? And this YouTube channel is going to turn into a complete mastermind of really, transforming your business into the future, expanding into international markets, and additionally, loads of other services. So it's a real big, all-in-one kind of complex of a YouTube channel. Additionally, I'll try to get on some guest members, some of our own accountants, some of our employees, to do some podcasts or interviews or speak about some specific topics, right? That will obviously help you, especially if you're running a business in the UK or Ireland or Malta, or you've already got a structure, but you're a little bit like, am I overpaying for this accounting service? Am I overpaying for this, company formation? I was actually with a client, and he owns another enterprise, and his partner set up the business, and it cost him $7,400 for a BVI entity. I'll tell you the cost price now. $1,240 is what I pay in all of our fees, staff fees, hourly rates. That is the price, right? So I typically charge between $1,400 and $2,600 for this, depending on the client, depending on what he needs it for, his time frame, depends on a lot of different stuff, right? So that's how pricing kind of works at Forward Point Solutions. It's just dependent on the service, how desperate he is, and how high risk it is and how easy it is, if that kind of makes sense. But anyways, I'll see you on the next video where we're going to break down how to do this crypto stuff, right? Speak soon.